Hey guys, hello and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your friend and your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, we have some huge leaks and some major reveals for the Mandalorian and Grogu, the next Star Wars movie coming on May 22nd. While we don't have a final trailer just yet, but stay tuned because I do have an update, we have some major reveals for the movie thanks to New York Toy Fair 2026. Jon Favreau was there to introduce fans to the upcoming lines of toys, and I say lines plural because we had some vintage collection, some Black Series, some Lego, some Disney Store exclusives, Funko Pops, Actionverse, you name it. The Mando movie is getting a shed ton of merch, and with this came some huge information, some from Jon Favreau himself but some from the actual merch. Let's begin with this. There's one character everyone is talking about. We have an awesome new mercenary droid. And I just want to say we don't know this guy's proper name, but I think he's more important than we think. He's clearly some kind of bounty hunter, maybe for the Hutts, maybe for the Remnant, but what really needs to be spoken about is this character's design. There's some Clone Wars inspiration, there's some Phantom Menace inspiration, and if I had to make a guess, I would say this is 100% Dave Filoni. But let's talk about what makes this character so special, and a theory I've not seen anyone else mention. So first of all, his helmet, taken from a BX series droid Commando, and I can absolutely envision him having a massive personality. Maybe he's serious, maybe he's comic relief, I don't know. And another question I have is, how does this character's role feed into that of Embo? Do we have differing factions? Are they working for separate parties? Does the Remnant send this guy first and then commission Embo? Or is it the other way round? Or are they simply unrelated? Or maybe did the leakers get it wrong? Did they assume the early designs for this character were Embo? Stuff like that's happened in the past. Do you guys remember the rumour that Bosk was going to be in the Book of Boba Fett, and then it ended up being a random Trandoshan? Could be similar in this instance, although there's a massive difference. A droid made up of different components versus a literal sentient Kyoso. But something else to note is if you move below the helmet, his body is inspired by Din Djarin from Season 1. This droid looks like he's wearing literal Mandalorian armor. Even the cloak kind of reminds me of the Armorer. I don't know the in-universe reason for this, but I think symbolically, this character might be a representation of Din's past. His past before he met Grogu. A hardened, cold, in this case literally cold, bounty hunter. And there's the added irony of the fact Din doesn't like droids. We get to see the evolution of Din and how far he's come. Everything he used to be versus what he is today. We often talk about Grogu's evolution, and that's going to be central to the movie as well, but we also forget just how much Grogu has taught Din about compassion, patience, and who knows, maybe even connecting to the Force. But let's not get sidetracked. This character is going to be an instant fan favourite. He looks like he was made to be an action figure character. And even if that was the explicit purpose to sell toys, as long as we get some cool action scenes with him, I'm happy. But I also just want to say because of the choice of head, he kind of reminds me of ND5. But something people are assuming is that he's going to be the main villain. Honestly, it's a possibility, we know nothing at this point, but I really doubt it. Considering the Shadow Council is in the movie, and because of leakers and acting agencies we know Pelion is in it, we know Johnny Coin's Warlord is in it. In the words of Qui-Gon, there's always a bigger fish. I don't think this guy is the main central villain, but he might be working for them. Another enormous reveal is that Carson Tavor is back, one of my absolute favourite characters of the canon New Republic. And there was a bit of doubt if he was going to return after the 3rd season, but it is true, thanks to a new set by Lego, we know that Carson Tavor of Adelphi Squadron has returned. All I can say is, this is the way. But my favourite revelation comes from the upcoming Art of book. They say Nal Hutta, which is a fan favourite from the Clone Wars and Legends, is about to make its live-action debut. It was mentioned in Book of Boba Fett. Boba tells the twins to return to Nal Hutta, and it looks like they did, because we know they're in the movie, and now we have confirmation Nal Hutta is in the movie. So those are some big reveals from the toys, but now on to Jon Favreau's words. There's a quote making the rounds, something he said, which I think says a lot about the tone of the movie, and a really controversial plot point they might actually follow through on. It's not something very popular, it's something I suggested after the 3rd season, but let's wait and see. So what am I talking about? Jon Favreau says this: I've been working on Star Wars now for 7 years, and to be able to step up and doing it as a movie feels like a culmination of what I'm working on. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is the culmination of everything he's done with Mando. And like I said to you guys once upon a time, I think it was just after the movie was announced, this could be Jon Favreau's last Star Wars project. He's got lots of other things lined up, Oswald the Rabbit, and if The Mandalorian and Grogu doesn't pull in a good box office, this could be the end, which would be really sad. But the way he words it brings up a theory which I know fans don't like. But considering the Pedro Pascal situation, you know, people are saying he's been trying to move away from Mando for a while now. It could happen. What if Din Djarin dies in this movie? What if the title of the film is implying that it's a final passing of the torch from Din to Grogu? According to the first trailer and the merch, Grogu is on his own for a lot of the movie. What if he has to fend for himself? And what if there's a scenario where Grogu has to rescue Din, and then right at the end, Mando sacrifices his life to save the child? Now, the first time I brought up this theory, the reason I didn't like it is because I didn't think Jon Favreau was going to be the one to do it. My theory was, it's going to be in Dave's movie. If Dave Filoni's Mandoverse film is supposed to be some kind of like Avengers Endgame event, bringing together Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, once season 2 is out, all of Mando, and Skeleton Crew, then that could be the movie where Din either sacrifices himself or in some way perishes. But because we've been hearing some really weird things about Dave's movie as of late, some people think it's going to be turned into a show, some people have heard it's on the back burner, it's being cancelled. I don't know. If that's no longer in the cards, then maybe this is going to be where they say goodbye. Now, as for the question of the final trailer, when can Star Wars fans expect it? Well, today, my friends, we have two separate opinions. One from Bespin Bulletin, a reliable scooper back from his hiatus, and one from The Hollywood Reporter. According to Bespin, it's going to be sometime between March and April. This calculation is based on the fact final trailers for big movies tend to be 6 to 8 weeks out, and Bespin thinks it might be attached to Hoppers, the latest of Pixar's efforts. And as far as The Hollywood Reporter is concerned, a final trailer is sooner than we think. They imply it could drop at any moment, maybe as soon as next week, who knows. And so finally, my dear friends, one last comment by Jon Favreau to wrap things up. He speaks on the subject of Din getting a new Razor Crest, ditching the N1 he's had in Book of Boba Fett and Season 3. Favreau confirms the Razor Crest is here to stay, and one day it's going to belong to Grogu. But fans have two questions. Number 1, how does Mando get it? And number 2, what happened to the N1? If the rumours are true, my friends, then maybe when Navarro gets blown up, so does Din and Grogu's homestead and their ship, and it requires them to get a new one, and it's back to the show's basics, a new Razor Crest. But what do you guys think? If you enjoyed this one, as always, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. May the Force be with you, always.